I created the variable, okay, and I've assigned a value to the variable. So I can do this way. I can assign a value to the variable this way or this way. Both are same. This one or this one, both are same. So I'll show you one thing. Okay, this two or only this one, both are same. Okay, so I'm making it as shorter, so I'm removing this. So declare integer equal to 1, so I'm assigning a value 1 to that id variable. So what I am doing, so here let's say if I want to run a query where id equal to 1. Okay, if I want to run query, so I have given the 1. If I want to run 2, then I need to give the 2, I'll get the value for 2. Okay, so that values I am passing to the variable. So I declared the variable here and I assign the value to that variable, and then instead of the department id, I am passing that variable here. Okay, I am passing the department id variable here. So now, okay, when I execute, it is working. Let's say I want to have some column names, or I want to change the table name, or I want to have some, here I'm getting department ID, name and group name, right? So what I want is that, I'll just close this. Yeah. So what I want is that I want to change the column name also dynamically. So just they'll give they'll store that column names in a variable. Okay, I'll give that I'll store this one. So I'll have a column name and I'll assign some values. So what are the columns we want? Let's say we want the column as department ID, comma name. So these are the columns I want. I'm just keeping in the quotes. So now what I'll do, instead of star, I'll just give that at the rate of column name. Okay. If I give this, what will happen? See. Yeah. Oh, sorry. See. Whatever the value is, it displayed. But what exactly I want here? I want here the, so this is the thing I want here. One. So instead of the column name, I want as a department ID and name. That's the thing I want here, right? So I'll take department ID, comma name. Yeah, where ID equal to 1. So I want to make this query in this way. So for the ID, I am able to pass that variable. But for the column names, the variable is not working. Actually, I should get the department ID and name, right? But instead of getting that as a column name, it is just selecting it as a value. So there is some issues. Like I can't get, right? But actually my scenario was that I want to get this in there. Select department ID name. When I execute this, whatever the output I'm getting, I want this output to get. Okay, but for the variable it is working. When you pass the value into the variable, in the where condition it is working, but it is not working in the select statement. Okay, so but what to do when you want to do that kind of things, when you want to dynamically add column names in the select statement, what you want to do? So basically here in this scenario, this is not going to work. So what we are going to see is that now we are going to create one more variable, declare at the rate of, or else I can just give comma, and because already it is there, right? So comma, because already we got the variable 1 2. This way I can give comma and I can write a variable name. So I'll give at the rate of query. Okay, I'll give at the rate of query as varchar max. Done. Now what I'll do here, oh it is selected. So what I'll do now here, set at the rate of varchar, so at the rate of query equal to bracket open, quote started. I'll have one more quote here, plus, because I need to add the column names, right? Plus, yeah. because since id is an integer, then it will throw an error. So I need to, when I do this, right, since id is an integer, when I execute this, it will throw an error, because since the id is integer, so conversion failed to converting the value. So here what happening is that because of the id as an integer, so it is throwing an error, so it can't join the integer with the varchar type. So I need to convert it. Varchar of 10. Okay, so when I do this now, I'm able to convert the data. So what I will do now, I'll print the query. Print at the rate of. So whatever the value I got in the query, that will be printed here. See. So select department ID name from and the where department ID. Are you able to see this? So the select query is dynamically driven based on the our variables. Now I want to execute the query. So in order to execute the query, you will just choose ex. So you are storing that entire query in the variable, right? So when I print, I am getting that query. So if you want to execute that query, you will just choose exec bracket open. You will use at the rate of query. That's it. When I close this, automatically my query will execute. So whatever the value is there in that variable, that value will be executed. In that variable, I am adding the query, right? So that query is being executed here. అర్థమైందా మీ అందరికీ? హలో, ఓకే, యా. సో ఇది వన్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ డైనమిక్ థింగ్. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఇంకోటి ఏం చెప్పాలంటే పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ ద SSIS, ఇన్ ద T-SQL. Okay, they might ask you something like in the interview question, what is the performance, like how you are going to do the performance thing in SSIS. Okay, sorry, so I am out. Okay, so whenever you attend an interview, they might ask you how you are going to increase the performance in T-SQL queries. So in order to increase the performance in T-SQL queries, there are a couple of things that we need to follow. Okay, what are the couple of things? So based on you are going to increase the query performance, and like if you know exactly by looking at the query, you can say, okay, this is a way how we are going to increase the query for performance. Okay, so let's say I'll use here select star from, okay, table name where name like percentile Raju percentile. Okay, or else I'll show you in this one. Okay, if I take the department ID and name, I got the data, right? So let's say I want a table where I want the list of the records where name like, okay, percentile tool design. Okay, let's say I want to get a name where it is tool design. So I can write the query this way. Or else since I want the tool design, I can just give, instead of giving the percentile, I can just give this one. Wherever it is a tool design, it will get that. Or else the same query I can write in other way also, where name equal to tool design. Okay, so both will return me the same data, both will return me the same result. So if I execute this, I got the 2 as tool design. If I execute this, then also I got the same output. If I execute both of them, I got the same output, right? So which one is best? Which one is the better? Which query we can use for better performance? Can anyone say? Why? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's nice. So whenever you use a like, what happens? It is going to search each and every record, like entire. So let's say my data is this way. So I'm having like 100 characters in a column. I'm having 100 characters in a column, in a single column. So what it is going to do is that it is going to search all the 100 characters when you use a like operation. But when you use a name in equal to name, so it's the same thing. It will just go record by record. So whenever it find the record, it will return it. That's it. It will not search the data in a column. It will only search the column data, tool design, right? So this is a way. So I'm having 10 columns. I have let's say I'll go with the 3 columns. This is tool 1, 2, 3, tool design. Next I got some characters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It like this. When you use a like operator, it will go to the column and it will search entire data in a column. Okay, it will go to the, okay, this is like, let's say if there are something like 4,000 characters in that column, it will search 4,000 characters. Okay, but when you use a equal to operator, it will just go check. It will check from the outside. Okay, I am getting tool design. Whether it will check, okay, tool, first letter is a T, second letter is O and H. Here it is O, here it is H. T, this is a this, okay, THIS. H, so it is not matching, so it will ignore this data. Next it will come to, okay, it is matching, so it will get that. So third one, it will check. If the first two letters are matching, then it will take. If that not matching, then it will return back again. Okay. It will not. So if but when you use a like operator, even though the first characters are not matching, it will go and search entire data in that column name. So because of that, always like operator is a kind of a performance thing. Okay. Hello. Yeah. So I got one more scenario where ID equal to 1, where convert var of 10 comma ID equal to 1. Oh, it's a department ID. Okay, so out of these two, which one will have better performance? First one will have better performance. Okay, why? That's one more reason. Other thing, can anyone say? Hello? Yeah, the reason is that, so I'll show here. So this is a department table, right? It's in the AMP prod DBO department table. Okay, AMP prod DBO department table. So let's see, is there any index on the table or not? So whenever there is index, yeah, there's a primary key on the department, so there is an index on the table. Okay, so now let's see. I'll just select the query and see the execute query plan means it will show how the query will execute. When I select the execute query plan, what is it showing? Do you all know regarding the index seek and index scan? Like seek and scan. Do you all know about that? యా, అంటే ఏంటిదంటే సీక్ అంటే ఏంటిదంటే నాకు ఇప్పుడు టేబుల్లో 1 2 3 4 5 రికార్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి. ఓకే, నేను వేర్ ఐడి ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అని ఇచ్చాను. ఐడి ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అని ఇచ్చాను. అదే 1 ఫైండ్ అవుట్ అయినా కానీ అది ఆగదు, అన్ని రికార్డ్స్ సెర్చ్ చేస్తుంది, మొత్తం టేబుల్ మొత్తం చెక్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, దాన్ని ఇండెక్స్ స్కాన్ అంటారు, టేబుల్ స్కాన్ అంటారు దాన్ని. టేబుల్ స్కాన్ అంటే టేబుల్లో ఉన్న ప్రతి అంటే ఎప్పుడైతే మీకు ఇండెక్స్ లేదో అప్పుడు టేబుల్ స్కాన్ చేస్తారు మీరు. ఇండెక్స్ ఉందనుకో సార్టెడ్ ఆర్డర్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మీకు ఎప్పుడైతే డేటా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తారో మీరు ఒక 1 అనుకున్నాను ఒక 1 చూస్తారు. నెక్స్ట్ 2 నెక్స్ట్ రికార్డ్కి 2 ఉంది కాబట్టి దాని తర్వాత 2 తర్వాత ఎప్పుడు 1 ఉండడానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉండదు, ఎందుకంటే సార్ట్ అయితే ఆల్రెడీ డేటా సార్ట్ అయింది కదా, కాబట్టి రిటర్న్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే డేటా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ అయిందో రిటర్న్ అయిపోతుంది, కాబట్టి దాన్ని టేబుల్ సీక్ అంటారు. ఓకే, so now see, when I took this, it is showing that like, okay, sorry, I have executed. This is the query plan, how it is going. So how it is doing, it clearly shows the query plan here. Oh yeah, it clearly shows here. See, select cost, and it is using the clustered index seek. It is also showing the, like, see, pk department. So it is also showing the index name also here. When I click on this, okay, see, it is also showing the index, which index it is using. It is using department.pk_department. So when I click the department, when I go to the constraints, sorry, when I go to the index, now it will show the same index name here. See, pk_department_department id. See, you can see the index name here. Okay, so it will also show you the index. So let's select this one and do this one. Yeah, can anyone see difference between both the things? When I execute the first query, when I did the table scan, is there any issue with the select statement? No, right? There is nothing. You can see 100% and done. But when I use this function, see what is going to happen. It's going to show some message on the select statement. Okay, actually it is using the index scan because by default, even normally it should not use the index plan. Okay, because since we are doing on that column, it should not use the index. I think since it is a small data, so that's the reason I think it is using. Yeah, one more. Now I'll show you. See, when I do this, it is showing the index seek, right? It is using the same index, but what is it is doing? Cluster index seek. You can see it here. Okay, seek means it will only do the required record. See, when I do this, it is showing cluster index scan. Are you able to get my point? So the difference was, whenever you do some functions, or whenever you use functions to convert the columns, automatically it will ignore the index that were created on the columns. So you should never use that one. Okay, yeah, so this all kind of different things that you need to take care. And like, one more thing is that, let's say I have joined 2 tables. Select star from table 1, inner join, because I don't have any table, but just I am giving that table 2. Okay, table 2 on, I'll give the table 1 as T1, I'll give the table 2 as T2. T1 dot id equal to something, T2 dot id. Okay, so this is the thing, I got it here. Now here, the one thing you need to do, so I don't have any index on both the tables. I don't have any index on both the tables, where I'll have something where name equal to okay. So in this scenario, let's assume there is no index, nothing on the tables. How can I increase performance? That both the tables have some millions of records. Okay, by using what scenario can I increase performance on these tables? Can anyone say? Hello, Kundal garu vinipistunda? Hello, yeah, మీకు అర్థమైందండి ఇది? మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు చెప్పండి ఇప్పుడు. సో నాకు ఆ క్వైరీ ఉంది. ఓకే, ఐ యాడ్ అ క్వైరీ. సో ఇది ఈ క్వైరీ అనమాట. నాకు ఆ 2 టేబుల్స్ మీద ఎలాంటి ఇండెక్సెస్ ఏమీ లేవు. 2 టేబుల్స్ మీద, టేబుల్ 1 టేబుల్ 2 జాయిన్ చేశాను కదా, 2 టేబుల్స్ మీద ఈ ఇండెక్సెస్ ఏమీ లేవు. నాకు క్వైరీ యూజర్ వచ్చి ఏం చెప్తారంటే ఓకే నాకు ఈ టేబుల్లో డేటా ఈ క్వైరీ రన్ చేసినప్పుడు నాకు చాలా టైం పడుతుంది దీనికి నాకు సో ప్లీజ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ ద పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఫర్ దిస్ సో వాట్ థింగ్స్ యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ ఫర్ దిస్ క్వైరీ హౌ యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇంక్రీజ్ ద పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ సెలెక్ట్ స్టార్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాము అన్ని కాలమ్స్ టేబుల్ 1 టేబుల్ 2 అన్ని కాలమ్స్ కావాలనుకోండి ఓకే అదే అదే రెండు సేమే అంటే నువ్వు ఇది చెప్తున్నావు కదా సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాదు రెండు సేమే అంటే నువ్వు ఏం చేస్తావు అంటే జస్ట్ ఇక టేబుల్ 1 ఇన్నర్ జాయిన్ బదులు కామా ఇచ్చేసేసి టేబుల్ 2 వేరే ఇచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ హ్యాండ్ ఇచ్చేసి అయిపోతుంది ఇదే కదా నువ్వు అంటుంది రెండు సేమ్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ దాంట్లో నీకు ఎలాంటి డిఫరెన్స్ ఉండదు సో ఇంకేమని చెప్పగలుగుతారు ఎవరైనా I am giving an int called index. Yeah. ఇంకా ఎవరైనా చెప్తారా చందన గారు కొండల్ okay so here the one thing you need to remember whenever you join on the columns right that column should so joining is nothing but you are asking the tables to have a look at both the tables right so let's say I got the table 1 and table 2 here కాదు no sub query అస్సలు యూజ్ చేయొద్దు ఓకే టేబుల్ 1 లో నాకు ఐడి నేమ్ ఉంది ఓకే సో టేబుల్ 2 I am having ID and address so like if I want to when I do the inner join what the internal the system is nothing but it is looking the data whatever data you got in the table 1 it is looking that ID is in the table 2 right it is nothing but the join so you are doing a lookup so in order to make it performance you are going to create index on both the ID both t1.id and t2.id okay on the table 1 ID column and table 2 ID column you are going to create an index because you are going to join that columns right so you are going to create indexes on both the columns okay and at the same time since I am filtering on the name right I am filtering on the name let's say this name is on the table 1 dot name I am filtering on name column in a table 1 so here since I am doing filtering is nothing but you are searching some value right so whenever you search automatically what the system is going to do it is going to look at the data so if the name is in sorted order then it will be very much easy for you to search data right so in that scenario again you are going to create one additional index on the name column separately అర్థమైందా yeah for name you are going to create a separate index for name okay let's say here there might be one more thing I am joining ID and t1 dot year let's say equal to t2 dot year okay so I am joining both the tables on 2 columns so both the 2 columns should have an index ID and year in both the tables should have an index so that whenever you search it will be easy okay and creating index also is a tricky way so if I create an index this way so which one is correct now create a cluster and I'm just writing something cluster index and I'll name idx underscore table 1 okay table 1 on so table 1 yeah so I'll give here ID comma here okay which one will be more effective sorry Okay, out of this both the indexes, which index will be more effective for the above query? First I'm joining an ID and year, right? So which one will be more effective? No, this will be way less effective. Yeah, because the data is sorted. First the ID is sorted, and after that, so based on all the IDs, like it will get the year one. Because here you're joining on ID and year, right? Okay, since let's take the ID is nothing but the company table. It's a company ID. Let's say the ID is nothing but the company ID. So in case of the company, so how basically it will be this case. Assume that the data is different. Don't worry about the data might be different. So let's say I got the data in company ID, year and amount. So I got the company ID 2010, 2010, 2010, 2010. Year is sorry. Okay, sorry. So I'll have the company ID as 101 or something. 101, 101, 101, and here is something like 2010, 2020, 2030, something. Amount is something, something, something. So here I will be sorting the company ID and then later on I'll sort the years. Okay? Are you able to get my point? Yeah. So in this scenario, this will be the best way to create an index based on the first you will be give the column as a company ID. Next you will give the column as a call year. So accordingly, on based on the condition, you need to create the this indexes also in the same order. అంటే సినారియోని బట్టి నువ్వు చెప్పి ఇంకో కొన్ని సినారియోస్కి నీ ఇయటం కరెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. యా అలా ఇయటం చేసుకోవచ్చు, అంటే నీ ఇష్టం, అట్లా అది ఇయటం కరెక్టే. యా కానీ యా అలా అది ఇయటం కరెక్టే, అంటే సినారియోని బట్టి చెప్తున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఎబో సినారియోకి మాత్రము ఇదే బెస్ట్ అనమాట. ఓకే, సో అలా అనమాట మీరు ఇండెక్సెస్ దాని తగ్గట్టు క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటారు. నార్మల్గా మీకు పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ గురించి మెనీ థింగ్స్ అడుగుతారు మిమ్మల్ని. పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అంటే మీరు ఒకటి స్టోర్ ప్రొసీజర్ చెప్పొచ్చు. స్టోర్ ప్రొసీజర్ వల్ల అయితే పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ పెరుగుతుంది. ఎందుకు? మీరు ఎప్పుడన్నా యూజ్ కోడ్ని ఒక నెట్వర్క్ నుంచి ఇంకో నెట్వర్క్కి పాస్ చేయాలంటే కోడ్ పాస్ చేయాలి. అదే స్టోర్ ప్రొసీజర్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చేస్తే ఒక కోడ్ మొత్తం ఒక స్టోర్ ప్రొసీజర్ నేమ్లో స్టోర్ చేసి దాన్ని జస్ట్ నేమ్ ఒకటి పాస్ చేస్తే చాలు. మళ్ళీ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతారు, ఓకే నా దగ్గర ఇట్లా డేటా ఉంది, డేటా నాకు పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ తక్కువ ఉంది, ఏం చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు, ఏదైతే కాలమ్స్ మీద డేటా అయితే జాయిన్ చేస్తుండ్రో డేటాలో, ఎట్ ద సేమ్ టైం డేటా మీద ఏమైనా ఫిల్టర్స్ వాడుతుండ్రో అవన్నీ నేను చెక్ చేసి దాని తర్వాత ఇండెక్సెస్, ఆ ఫిల్టర్స్ మీద ఇండెక్సెస్ ఉన్నాయా లేవా చెక్ చేసి, ఒకవేళ లేకపోతే కొత్తగా ఇండెక్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాను చెప్తాను అనమాట. దాని తర్వాత వైల్డ్ కార్డ్స్, విల్ నెవర్ యూజ్ ద వైల్డ్ కార్డ్స్. If you use the wildcards, it again reduce the performance. Okay, and at the same time there is one more thing. See, I have created the dynamic queries, right? Dynamic queries will not use this one, the query execution plan, remember. Okay, they will use the query execution plan, but it takes more time. So never use the dynamic queries unless and until it is necessary. Okay, and one more thing is that, so if we have union and union all, it's better to use a union. If you know that if you want to union all two data, and if you are confident that both the data is not there is nothing duplicate data, like there is no duplicate data in the both the tables, then you can do the union all instead of doing union. Because union means it will take all the data, it will take the distinct, and then it will give the output. Union means it will not at all, it will take the first output and it will join the second output together. That's it. It is not at all doing distinct and nothing. Okay, so that's why union all will always have the highest performance on the queries. Okay, so now what we are going to see is that we are going to see some of the SSIS things which I need to explain you. So let's say basically this is a normal standard thing which most of the people you will be getting confused. Okay, so I'll show you one thing now. So once this product open, then I'll show you. So until then I'll close this recording so I can start the next new recording with